What's up, everybody? It's Joe from JLib Games coming at you with another cool video. I'm back in Planet Coaster, and where we left off was this new area over here, and I decided to go ahead and add on to it with some more buildings and buildings. That's mostly what this episode's going to be about, is buildings, but do not worry about that because we are going to get into the coasters very, very soon. Now, I want to do something a little bit different with this drink stall and kind of create kind of a tower coming off of it just for fun, because I don't want all the buildings looking like exactly the same, so I thought it was a good idea at the time. I might add on to it just a little bit later in the future, because I think it does end up kind of turning out kind of blankish to me, or not, a little bit too boring in a way, so I might add on to it in the future, but for right now, it's a great placeholder to have in the park. So, a nice little Cosmic Cow stall and everything like that. So, this episode's pretty primarily filling in the outside gaps of the new area and just trying to enclose it as much as I can. And yeah, so just doodads here and there, and my normal, like, these wooden things with the lanterns on it. Definitely overdo it with those, like, all the time, every single time. So, but again, more detailing and just more stuff like that. So, yeah, and I believe I get into the roller coaster in the next episode. Actually, episode 9. Yeah, that's actually where it gets it, because I've already recorded that as well. Which I get into the roller coaster. I don't get much into the roller coaster editing as much as building the station, but it's going to be the end part over here at the in this part of the area or section as well. So so I want to make sure I have plenty of attractions in the area to attract guests, so they'll so I can have quite a bit of people roaming in the park. So you want to make sure you have different shops and stalls and rides in every area possible. Otherwise, there won't be any traffic through that area of the park. So that's just kind of how it works in Planet Coaster. If there's nothing there, they won't go through it. Which I don't know if I like that or not. At the same time, you know, if you want to make like shortcut pathways, kind of back pathways, people won't go on it or go through it if there's absolutely no one around. So my biggest thing I'm trying to do here is try to not have, you know, a simple block or simple square rectangular building, and just trying to add some stuff on the outside of it as well. So I decided to go ahead and add a bathroom right here, because we don't have a bathroom yet. A real bathroom anyways for our people to use, and that is kind of something they need in a way. So fancy bathrooms, that's right. So just again, detailing buildings as much as possible, and I say it probably every episode, I'm not the greatest at building yet, but I'm learning and improving through my mistakes and experimenting as best as I can. A lot of people do a lot more experimenting than what I do, as in using stuff for stuff that it's not intended for. I haven't really experimented with stuff like that yet. And then I get to the opportunity here where I'm like, okay, why don't we put something right here? And I thought it would be cool to have this little pirate band playing with a little stage and stuff. I wanted to implement it somewhere, and I thought this would be a nice little spot. So I decided to kind of make my own stage for it. And it actually ends up turning out pretty well, I think, in the long run. So I was actually very impressed of how this turns out. And it's got it might not be super perfect, but it ends up being working out pretty darn well, because I make kind of a little stage with kind of a almost like a dining area while you can, you know, eat and stuff like that. I might add tables later, which I haven't done yet, but for right now this will do. I kind of try and add some benches here, but it doesn't really work out in the end, so I decided to come back to that later. And it's not a whole lot of room to work with, so I didn't know if it was, at this point I was kind of like, was this the best place to put this right here or not? But I'm like, I'll make it work, because it does end up working out in the end with this little band, and it actually turns out pretty nice. So I was pretty impressed with it. And just so many buildings I'm trying to, just put stuff on the outside. Make sure there's stuff everywhere for everything, pretty much. And that's pretty much the goal here, is making sure that these pathways are filled with tons of stuff to do. And that's the main goal here in this park, is to not have any gaps in the pathways, very few anyways, and have it always surrounded by buildings or rides or attractions. Just making it a nice compact park with a lot of stuff to do. Now I'll go ahead and create some fences here just for this little area, and do my best to create like a little stairway here to it. And I decided, well, let's try and get the pathway kind of around that, so it looks like you can go up on it. So it ends up working out as much as I can in my favor. So it kind of does. And then I'm gonna have a lot of these little, spots where I have to fill in with, some planters and trees and foliage and stuff like that. And I decided to go ahead and do a little bit of rock work out here. And just to add a little bit of a touch to the it's pretty much filling in the gaps in a way. And make sure I'm saving often, because that's very important, because you never know when the game's going to crash. It does autosave, which is a nice thing, but yeah, you just never know when it's going to crash. So but I thought this stage kind of turned out kind of neat, and the little pirate band's display will be kind of cool in the park. And I might put something behind it eventually, because I just feel like it's a little bit too open. So I decided to add some spotlights as well. With the new advanced rotation tool, you can rotate it anywhere you want, which is a very nice touch for those, spotlights big time. It really helps out a lot. So I go ahead and do that. So this main episode was getting this put together, and just some more detailing and more buildings. So you can expect that a lot out of these episodes, but again, I decided to go with time lapses simply because you can cover more with less amount of time as well. Because the episodes are a lot shorter with the time lapses, but you're seeing a lot more footage at the same time. And I think that's the easiest way to go, and it'll probably get through the park a lot better, or a lot faster, and you don't have to worry about sitting through 60 episodes or whatnot like that. I don't know how many episodes it's going to take. I'm not making an estimate of how many episodes it's going to take. So then I come back to this rock. I'm like, I think you should have a little support here for the sign at the very top, and I had to cover a little bit up with some more rock work and stuff, but but just some more patching right here with the little green areas, and just patch them with flowers and some trees, just to make it look nice and pretty, and of course saving once again. And as you can see how it's turning out, you're really getting this area starting to come together a little bit more. And again, at the one end of this area, we will be putting in a roller coaster, which we will start on in the next episode. So as you can see, there's still a lot left to do in this area. I want to have multiple areas, and this is the first area, and they don't have a big specific theme to them, but they're just going to be like little sections of the park, that kind of go together in a way. So I go ahead and decide to add another stall over here, just to get some people on this side of the pathway as well. And I believe it was a food stall or hat stall. Yeah, it's a hat stall. Never mind. The Hat's Fantastic, which is our first hat stall. And yeah, so we're gonna have multiple stalls of the same thing, simply because the game doesn't supply us with a lot of shops just yet, and I can't wait till they do. Maybe by Alpha 3 we might get some more shops. Who knows? In fact, they might have the shops tab open by then. You never know. I'm very interested to see what they do with Alpha 3. I think they're going to add water in Alpha 3, because we kind of saw a little bit of a teaser in a video that they posted. We actually saw water for the first time in Planet Coaster, and it actually looked really good. You saw it had reflections and stuff like that. So it's going to be very fun to see the water. I have no doubt that they're going to make their water look right, obviously, and make it look good. That's no doubt at all, you know. So, but again, I'm going section by section with this park, as in I'm not going to go back and forth in a way. You know, I'm going to work at each area until it's done. So I'm going to work on this area until it's done. So I'm kind of jumping back and forth within the area, so I don't count that. I actually count, you know, the areas and jumping around the park a little bit more. But and this area will have a coaster. We might even have another flat ride, maybe 2 more flat rides in this area, but we'll kind of see as we go along. I want the roller coaster to kind of have its own area itself. It's going to be closer to a family coaster, kind of. It's not going to be a family coaster, but it's going to be a family coaster, if that makes any sense. And in other words, it has some it's going to have some intense elements, but at the same time, it's going to be kind of a, you know, kind of a mild type coaster. And it's going to be an aero looping coaster. That's going to be our first coaster. It's not going to be the main attraction coaster of the park, but we're going to make it look amazing in a way and fun. So, with the pirate theme that it's going to have, it's going to be cool. And I actually eventually want to, when we get to the moment, I do want to add a dark ride in this park. I haven't actually tried out making a dark ride in Planet Coaster yet, and it seems to work. I've seen other people do it, and it seems to work really well. So I'm very excited to get into that as well. So I just cannot wait for that, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.